Hi everyone. So I welcome you again to the class. So we'll continue from where we had left in the last class. We were discussing about the business to business marketing channels, right? Or simply saying the distribution system in the B2B market, right? How do how is the distribution system or the channel management differing between B2C and B2B? So, we have understood in the last class that B2B is slightly more complicated in the sense that it has to keep in mind several points, such as for example the way the distributor plays a vital role in the entire distribution system. Now, how do you select that distributor? How do you design the channel? Now, who would you go for a direct distribution system, or would you go for a indirect distribution system? Now, these things are very important because the way the business market is done, or the marketing in the business to business sector is done, is quite different from what it is done in the B2C sector, right. So, in the B2C sector, what happens is basically we talk about a standardized product which is available through the C&F agent, through the wholesaler, distributor, retailers, to the end consumers. And because it is a standardized product, the market price is fixed and you do not have too much of negotiation in that. But when you talk about the B2B market, it is all about a customized market, a market where the product is highly designed according to the need of the customer. So, accordingly, there is a lot of complementary and joint products involved. So, the price of the product also differs, the complexity of the product is different. So, all these things results in a way that we have to think how to distribute our B2B products. Now, there are people like there is a direct distribution where you can directly meet the customer through maybe electronically, telephonically, or physically, or indirectly you can go through certain commission merchants. For example, we talked about jobbers, brokers and all. So, and how these industrial distributors, how these people play a very vital role in the selling of the industrial goods or the B2B goods, right. So, today we will be talking about one more aspect, which is the e-commerce, which has become a very important player in the market today. Now, e-commerce is the activity of buying and selling of products and services over the internet, right. So, simply saying, it can be said to be electronically doing something, right. So, commerce done electronically is e-commerce, right. So, some of the big names that you have is Amazon in that. So, Amazon Business in the B2B space, or Alibaba, IndiaMart, Rakuten, and there are many more companies as Udan. So, in India we have at least so many companies across the world. This market has been growing up tremendously, right. So, companies now have started, as you find in the B2C market. Similarly, there is a analogous market in the contemporary market in the B2B sector, where people try to sell their products over the internet through e-commerce, right. So, if you look at the global B2B e-commerce market, which was valued at US 14.9 trillion in 2020. So, that can give us an idea how large is this market. So, it is largely highly possible that e-commerce has really flown off very fast, and it has created a big market for itself. On the other hand, it has cannibalized certain other areas. For example, through mail or telephonic, that business has completely been that has dwarfed in front of the e-commerce market, right. Now, global e-commerce, the global market value in billions is what is given to you. If you can see, from 2016 to 2025, the forecasted value. Now, 2022 we are at 22,172. So, if you look at the growth, the expansion, it has been tremendous. So, from 2016 to 2000 and almost 20, if you see in this 4 years time, it has grown by almost 80-90%. And if you look at 2022, this market has grown up by more than 100%, and it has crossed around 120-130%. And this is going to grow further, and it is estimated by 2025 we will have a 35,073 right billion market, US dollar market. So, that shows a constant compounded annual growth rate like almost 17%. So, that shows how big is this market and how much of transactions are happening. Today even if you look at all the government transactions, right, which we do through the government portals and all, they are all e-commerce, they are based on e-commerce, right. Now, the Indian B2B e-commerce market was valued at 690 billion in 2020, right, which is if you look, it is comparatively quite small, right, is not it? It is quite small. So, that means, and looking at the potential of India and the way the make in India and the now India is growing up to be a big market and the whole world is looking at India as a opportunity. So, this e-commerce space is going to grow tremendously, right. So, by maybe another few years we will be touching as close as some other big markets like China or US. Okay. Now, even if you look at India, 2016 we had only 398 billion, right, and from there we have moved to 2021 we have crossed 876. So, in terms of percentage here also we have more than doubled, but the absolute value is less in comparison to the US market, obviously, which is a highly developed market. The share of B2B e-commerce exceeds that of B2C e-commerce in USA, and not only in USA, almost all markets the B2B e-commerce is much higher than the B2C e-commerce. Now, if you can see in terms of manufacturing shipments, merchant, wholesale trade sales, retail trade sales and service industry revenue in 2019 and 20. So, it is slightly growing, right, it is growing, and retail trade sales, so it has grown considerably, right, about 40% or something. We can see that the share of B2B, now the business to business e-commerce is growing because people are finding value in that, people are finding benefit in that, right. So, automatically the rate of doing business is gearing up, is becoming faster, and the prices are getting more controlled or negotiated. So, this advantage has helped the B2B e-commerce to grow at a much faster pace. There are some myths about the e-commerce. Now, what are the myths? Let us talk about it. The first myth is e-commerce will replace the existing distribution channels. Do you think so? The question is, do you feel that e-commerce will replace that existing distribution channels, whatever is existing right now, e-commerce will completely replace it? May not be. No, the truth is e-commerce does not replace existing distribution channels, rather it supplements it. Now, almost all companies today, if you look at it, they are, in addition to their traditional models, they are also starting their e-commerce platforms, okay, so that their business will get enhanced by it. Second myth is that e-commerce will eliminate the need of sales team. So, if you are doing on e-commerce, why should you need any sales people, right? So, this is another myth that e-commerce is surrounded across e-commerce. Now, e-commerce actually does not replace the selling function. It is not replacing the selling function. Rather, what it is doing is it facilitates the salesperson's efforts and enhances the effectiveness and efficiency of the sales function. So, the salesperson is not going anywhere, the sales team is not going anywhere, but the sales function is only being facilitated or helped by the e-commerce to increase the business, right. Maybe the way the business is being done will change. Now, the conclusion drawn from this is that basic internet applications will become table stakes. Companies will not be able to survive without them, right, but they will not gain any advantage for them. This was told by Michael Porter, who happens to be one of the most profound strategists, right, an academician who has written about strategy. He says basic internet applications will become table stakes, right, companies will not be able to survive. So, it will be like it is a very important thing, it will be very normal, general, it will become a part of our life, right, but they will not gain any advantage from them. The more robust competitive advantages will arise from traditional strengths such as unique products, proprietary content, distinctive physical activities, superior knowledge of the product and better relationships, right, good service and relationships. Ultimately, strategies that integrate the internet and traditional competitive advantages and ways of companies and ways of competing, right, should win in many industries. So, Michael Porter says that it's not going to, only internet is not going to work. Internet is going to work along with the traditional methods, right? And if both done well, if they are integrated together, then some companies will surely win, do well, and some industries will surely do well, right? So, the conclusion is that e-commerce is no doubt a very important platform or very important helpful medium, but it does not replace the traditional medium. Okay. It only enhances the traditional medium, it supports the traditional medium. Okay. Now, so the advantages of e-commerce is, for example, we can see it helps, first the most simplest advantages we can see that it gives us an access to the global market. So, you are no more limited to the, traditionally your country or local market or something, you are given an access to the global market. You can buy anything from, let us say, France, Germany, any product that you want, you can also avail that. Helps in conducting marketing research. So, it helps to understand how the market is performing, what are the trends in the market and what changes are happening. Establishing new delivery channels to better serve and interact with customers, right? Enables firms to reduce operating costs. So, today companies are finding that e-commerce has been helpful in reducing their day to day operating costs, right. You do not need to spend a lot of money on the operational side, because that can be, once the e-commerce is set up, it can easily handle and take care of those issues. Enhance customer focus, responsiveness and relationships. So, through e-commerce we have seen that you can respond to your customer faster, better. For example, let us say now you want to buy something, right. So, once you have searched for something, automatically the company tries to bring it to you, in front of you, the product, their designs, varieties of products and all, so that the customer who is a potential customer can become a real, can get converted to a real customer, right. And it enables the firm to focus on their core business. So, what happens is, after e-commerce has been set up, many companies tend to, focus on their core business, and they do not worry too much about the other parts. So, this sales and other things is taken care of by the e-commerce side, which is which has been very helpful for almost all companies, right. So, for example, if you want to raise a ticket or you want to make a purchase, the way you order, the way you can track the entire assignment, everything can be taken care of by through the e-commerce. So, this has made life much simpler. Where is it basically used? If you can see from this use, you can understand that the most of the applications have been in procuring and purchasing. So, let us say if XYZ companies wants to procure and it is regularly procuring something. So, by visiting the e-commerce platforms and other things, what it does is it gets a lot of idea about the companies, the different kind of products they are selling and what kind of specifications they are having, what is the price, and on top of that they can customize, they can negotiate, everything is possible, right. It also helps in managing the process for fulfilling the customer's orders. Now, order order frequency, or placing an order was a challenge, has been a traditionally a challenge, but with e-commerce this has become much simpler. The the lead time has decreased substantially, right. So, it has, why? Because unnecessary documentation, unnecessary work has been minimized. Okay. Then providing real time information on the status of the order. So, what is the status of the order? For example, when you go for a Amazon purchase, so you can see, or a Flipkart or anything, right. You can see where your order is, has it been dispatched, has it been shipped, or is it in the transit, in the way, and you can change your decisions also on that. So, all this makes it very flexible and gives an advantage to the buyer. Helps in creating online product catalogs and product information data sets. So, through e-commerce we can easily create product catalogs which the companies, the buyers can see and they can compare and they can select a product maybe, right. Then managing the logistics process. So, it helps you in the logistical process. So, logistic process is, for example, we understand the warehousing, the transportation and everything. So, the inbound and outbound logistics and all. So, you can easily manage the logistic process with the help of your e-commerce. Okay. and finally the processing, the payment of invoices and all. So, most of the paperwork today has been taken up, by or has been minimized with the help of the e-commerce, right. So, e-commerce has played a very vital role in making the business more smoother, more simpler, and because of which buyers have found it more easy to do business and sellers have found it more easy to sell their products. Okay. Let us take an example of one company which is very famous, right, for its e-commerce application, and that is Dell. So, Dell, as we know, is a computer manufacturer, right, and it has been very popular in the way, one of the world's leading companies. So, many companies consider Dell the poster child for B2B e-commerce. Now, why is it the poster child for B2B e-commerce? The simple reason is because of its huge success in controlling costs effectively by providing a custom designed personal computer through the internet. So, Dell provides you a customized product, a designed product according to what you require, what the buyer requires through the internet. Okay. So, Dell shoppers, customers can shop online, they can use their own ERP, right, procurement application, route the electronic requisition through the firm's standard ERP workflow, where it can be approved electronically. So, that can be electronically approved and a purchase order can be created and then transmitted directly to Dell. Okay. So, the order then flows directly into Dell's manufacturing system, where the equipment is built immediately and shipped to the buyer. So, this provides the customer with a timely and efficient solution. So, you see the entire paperwork has been completely removed in the process, and the order placed by the buyer directly reaches to the Dell's manufacturing system. Dell's large enterprise customers can even use its online resources to manage the inventory of personal computers across the organization. Now, suppose I am I am a buyer of Dell computers. So, my inventory management also can be done easily, right. So, properly configure and upgrade them for different departments and control the purchase order process in line with the customer's own budget restrictions. So, the customer can fix a budget and accordingly the whole inventory can be managed around it. Okay. Now, all this obviously one can understand and see from here that Dell, because of these reasons, Dell has become a very successful B2B e-commerce player, right. What makes Dell a great internet marketer is its ability to take its traditional practices and enhances them using the web. So, Dell has taken those traditional practices and enhanced them by helping by using the web, right. Its chairman Michael Dell has given a good statement where he says, we work with customers face to face, right, on the telephone or over the internet. Depending on the customer, some or all those techniques will be used, they are all intertwined. That means, he says that all the customers that we speak to, whatever they require and whatever we give them, all these requirements are interconnected to each other, right, and the way we give them the service, that also is connected to each other, right. The key to Dell's success is understanding the internet's role and its relationship to the other elements of the firm's marketing strategy. So, by using the web and all this process, Dell has been very helpful, has been very successful in creating its own improving its own margins, but not only that, the customers who use Dell services, they also gain a lot because Dell helps them in several marketing functions and managing their inventory and all these things, right. All this from what we understood from Michael Dell's statement and the way Dell is making business, we have understood one thing, that when he used the word intertwined, right, or interconnected. So, this interconnection or making or doing the business in today's world is highly interconnected, and this interconnection of businesses or different aspects of the business is what we largely understand as supply chain management. Okay, let me start you with an example. Let us say this is an example given by one of the founders of Li and Feng, one of the a trading companies in Hong Kong. He says, say we get an order from an European retailer to produce 10,000 garments. For this customer, we might decide to buy yarn from a Korean producer, but have it woven and dyed in Taiwan. So, we pick the yarn and ship it to Taiwan. The Japanese have the best zippers. So, we go to YKK, big Japanese zipper manufacturer, and we order the right zippers from their Chinese plants, right? Japanese company, Chinese plants. So, the plant is in China. The best place to make the garments is Thailand. So, we start everything there. So, we ship everything there. The customer needs quick delivery. We may divide the order across 5 factories in Thailand. Effectively, we are customizing the value chain to best meet the customer's needs. So, what did Li and Feng founder Victor Feng, what did he say? It was in long back, but what he meant was, today in order to satisfy your customer or give a good let us say service, you have to be very smart and agile. You cannot depend, you cannot do one thing at a time. So, multiple action is being done, and maybe in order to reduce the cost and make it more efficient, you may have to have a interconnection or interconnectivity, or all the different players who are involved, they need to be connected to each other. So, as in this example you have seen, from Europe to Korea to Taiwan to Japan to China to Thailand. Now, people from all these different parts of the world are connected, so that a good garment and a profitably a garment can be supplied to the European retailer. So, this is a small example which talks about what is supply chain management. Now, if you look at this example that we said, right. So, a supply chain is a sequence of organizations, their facilities, their functions and activities that are involved in producing and delivering a good or service. To make one good product or service, so many people are involved. Now, look at the Apple phone, or look at even a shirt that I am wearing now, or a apparel. All these are not coming from one place. So, so many different parts, so many different places, right. So, Li and Feng is Hong Kong's largest export trading company, which I have mentioned, and it has also been innovative in supply chain management, right. So, in this example, Li and Feng has created a supply chain for the purpose of meeting a customer's needs, for that is the apparel or the garment, right. In general, this case is more the exception than the rule, but serves to illustrate some of the pieces of a supply chain. So, what does it mean? It says that through such examples one can easily understand that supply chain is the key to success for most of the companies today, because today we are in a networked world, we are not in a traditionally in a vertically integrated world anymore. So, earlier days you were going for vertical integration, but today you are using the expertise of several players who are producing those key components, which is finally to be taken by the OEM, right. So, supply chain management has become a very important function, and it has become a key driver for today's success, right. All businesses, all corporates today see that supply chain management is the way that you can achieve success and improve your profitability. With this, I will like to wind up today's lecture. So, in the next lecture, we will continue about supply chain management and its importance. So, till then, take care and thank you very much.